Whispers are circling through Windsor, and they all point to one thing. The crown may already be shifting, not with a grand announcement or a dramatic coronation, but in quiet moments, subtle handovers, and a prince who suddenly looks every inch the king in waiting. Recently, a gathering at Windsor Castle sent shockwaves through royal circles. Prince William wasn't just attending, he was hosting, commanding the stage with a confidence that left many wondering if the real transition of power has already begun. And right beside him, Princess Catherine, radiating calm authority, made the picture complete. But what made this moment so different? Why are insiders saying it felt less like a routine engagement and more like the first chapter of a new reign? At Windsor Castle, the occasion was more than ceremonial. Prince William personally welcomed the Crown Prince of Kuwait, stepping into a role usually reserved for the monarch himself. There was no hesitation, no sense of a deputy filling in. William carried the meeting with authority, his every gesture signaling a leader already comfortable with the weight of power. What made the moment even more striking was the absence of King Charles. While officially explained as part of his scaled-back public schedule, the optics were impossible to ignore, the heir stepping forward, the king watching from the shadows. And then there was Catherine. Composed, gracious, and sharp-eyed beside William, she didn't just play the role of supportive spouse, she looked every inch the future queen consort. Together, they projected stability, charm, and a quiet strength that left observers with one burning question. Was this simply a diplomatic courtesy, or was Windsor hosting a rehearsal for the monarchy's next act? Behind the elegance of Windsor, another truth loomed in the background: King Charles's ongoing battle with cancer. While official statements stress that His Majesty is continuing light duties, the reality is clear. His public schedule has been drastically reduced. Each missed engagement sparks quiet concern, and every rare appearance is scrutinized for signs of strength or frailty. Royal watchers suggest that the king himself may be orchestrating this soft transition. Instead of clinging to every public duty, Charles appears to be deliberately allowing William to take center stage, testing the waters, preparing the public, and perhaps even preparing himself for what comes next. It's a balancing act. The monarch must remain visible but not overstretched. The heir must be ready but not overstep. And yet, as William's presence grows, so too does the feeling that Charles is gently handing over the reins, not with speeches or ceremony, but with silence. If William's rise is about duty and destiny, Catherine's evolution has been about resilience. Just months ago, headlines were filled with speculation about her health, her long absence from the public eye fueling endless theories. But when she re-emerged, it wasn't as a fragile figure, it was as someone sharper, steadier, and more determined than ever before. Observers noticed the shift immediately. Catherine no longer feels like the quiet partner in William's shadow. At Windsor, she mirrored his authority with her own quiet power, greeting dignitaries with grace, exchanging words that carried weight, and projecting the calm certainty of a woman preparing for a throne of her own. Insiders have even begun describing William and Catherine as co-architects of the monarchy's future. He brings the statesman's vision, she brings the people's trust, and together they've become a formidable pair. It's not just about stepping into Charles's shoes, it's about redefining the crown itself. Just when the Windsor hosting moment was beginning to settle in the headlines, Kensington Palace dropped something nobody saw coming. A short, candid video of William and Catherine. No pomp, no formal backdrops, just the two of them in casual conversation, reflecting on what it means to carry greater responsibilities. The clip was striking for its simplicity. William spoke with a calm confidence about stepping up where needed, while Catherine emphasized the importance of balance, duty, family, and the public's trust. In less than 2 minutes, they projected a vision of leadership that felt authentic, even raw. And the reaction was immediate. Within hours, the video had gone viral across TikTok, X, and YouTube. Commenters described it as the first glimpse of a new era, while royal insiders couldn't help but read it as deliberate foreshadowing. It wasn't just a social media update, it was a statement, and the timing coming right after Windsor felt far from accidental. One Windsor meeting or one viral video could be dismissed as coincidence, but when you step back, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. William's portfolio is expanding in every direction. He's not just the face of the monarchy, but the driving force behind global initiatives like the Earthshot Prize, sharpening his role as a statesman with an environmental edge. He's meeting world leaders, stepping into defense discussions, and shaping policy conversations once left exclusively to the sovereign. Meanwhile, Catherine has carved her own powerful lane. Her decades-long focus on early childhood development has evolved into a national platform. Her speech is now carrying the weight of policy influence. Insiders say government ministers regularly seek her perspective, an unprecedented position for a royal consort in waiting. Together, they're not just filling in the gaps left by King Charles, they're quietly building the infrastructure of their own reign. Every step, every engagement, every carefully placed public message seems designed to answer one question. When the throne finally calls, will the people already see them as their king and queen? Beneath the polished appearances and carefully staged photographs, there's a quieter story that gives all of this even more weight. William's every move seems guided by a fierce protectiveness towards his father. He has lived through the chaos of royal feuds, the loss of his mother, and the intense scrutiny of the press. And now, watching Charles fight illness, he appears determined to shield both the crown and his family from further strain. At home, William and Catherine have built something radically different from past royal households. Their children are being raised with school runs, playdates, and as much normalcy as possible, even as those same children are slowly prepared for futures no ordinary child could ever imagine. Insiders often describe the couple's mantra as family first, monarchy second, a sharp contrast to the cold, duty-first approach of previous generations. And it's that authenticity, that visible devotion to each other and to their children that makes their rise so compelling. They don't look like a royal machine, they look like a family. And in an era where trust in the monarchy has been questioned more than ever before, that might be the very thing that secures their future on the throne. So what are we really witnessing? A royal couple stepping up out of necessity, or the first chapter of a silent succession? At Windsor, with a viral video to follow and a public more invested than ever before, the signs point to something bigger than ceremonial duty. William and Catherine aren't just filling in the gaps left by King Charles, they're quietly shaping the monarchy's next era, one step, one gesture, one carefully placed moment at a time. For many watching, it already feels less like preparation and more like rehearsal. The question now isn't if William will be king. The question is whether the transition has already begun right before our eyes. And if Windsor was a glimpse of the future, are we, without realizing it, watching Britain's next coronation unfold in real time?